There is this light in us that Jesus says the universe longs to behold. The universe longs to behold. So we're here to clear anything that is in the way. And we take our steps at the pace we are ready to go. And sometimes the calling prompts us to take a step that feels a little scary, a little radical. But that's okay. There is a lot of support.
But yeah, sometimes we're called to take a big leap. Just read a quote from Bob Dylan. It says, "I was born far away from home, and I've been trying to get home ever since."
Yeah. It sounds a bit like a poem I wrote as a teenager. I hit my head hard when I fell down on earth. So hard that I forgot who I was and where I came from. But the journey of remembering is here.
Yeah, there's a celebration in us. Even the commitment to do this, it just opens the heart, fills the whole being with happiness. It's like the angels are singing.
And the release and the letting go can sometimes feel a bit painful. You know, it can seem like we are losing something, we're letting go of something, or even sacrificing. It can feel that way, it can seem that way. And Jesus says, yeah, you know, that is impossible, but you have to go through that. You have to release those attachments to actually experience that there was no sacrifice. That experience comes after. He even gives the analogy of a child running with scissors. If you let the child run with the scissors, it will hurt itself. You know, and the child cries when you take the scissors because it wants to play with them. It thinks it's a toy. And this is how it is when we release the specialness, when we release the attachments. We may cry, we may feel like, please don't take away my toy. I want this toy. I love this toy. You know, I want to use it. I want to play with it. But the Holy Spirit knows it's not helpful for you. You're ready to let it go. So that's the crying, you know, the similarity to taking away the scissors from the child. And sometimes we are fearful and think something bad is going to happen, or we're going to lose something. And you're going to find a happy lightheartedness instead, where you anticipated grief. You're going to find a happy lightheartedness. That's the truth. I know it. I found it. And yeah, this is a journey back to home. Because we're not at home here. So even the prayer, hasten my footsteps now. You know, let me go quicker home. That's a prayer we can hold. Anna is nodding. She wrote to me, I think yesterday. And I think now is the time to talk about it. Can I read it, Anna? She wrote, "Hi, Jenny, I'm stuck on something. I hold a grievance against myself. There gotta be a different way of seeing this. I'm pissed at myself for what seems like the decision to forget. Why did I choose to dissociate myself from God? From what I am? What purpose could I have in mind for this? What was my goal? Is any of this even true?" All of these are really good questions. It seems like I want to say, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you nuts? To herself. And then she said, am I ungrateful? Who is not grateful to God? 3 question marks. Who could go around and not be grateful to God? Only the one who believes he's separate, who forgot who God is, who forgot the oneness. What is wrong with me that I would make this bizarro land of sadness and rage? And while I'm at it, why do I believe there is something wrong with me? Perfect wasn't good enough? But yeah, these are really helpful questions. And I think for Anna, you actually, it did lead you inward. And she said, I never stopped to ask if there is actually anything wrong. I keep trying to find what is wrong, but I never asked, is there really anything wrong? It's another, really helpful way of going at it. You can see the questioning mind. You recognize it. It thinks something is wrong all the time. That's what the timeline is. We wouldn't experience time otherwise. If we didn't think something is constantly wrong. But if we stop and pause and look, we're going to find nothing is wrong. We're going to find the present, where there is joy and peace. And in the beginning, it can feel, wobbly. It can feel like we can lose it at any instant. So that's why this mind training course, But yeah, how could I separate from God? Why did I do it? Why the heck did I choose to dissociate myself from God, from what I am? I love Anna's expressiveness. Yeah. It is crazy, and as we go deeper with it, we'll find out that we never did it. We actually never left God. If we do go deeper with this question, all we'll find is union, oneness. Because the answer was given the moment the problem was perceived. So if we come back to the moment when the problem was perceived, we will find the answer. And that's this journey. That's why we want to go home. And Spirit helps us. Like when the mind is ready, the way appears. The guidance comes in. So is there anything on your heart here today that you would like to explore together? Vanessa and then Susan.
Yeah, I have so much pain in my chest. And when I saw so many people, I got so scared. I said, oh my God. And yeah, my heart just boom, boom, boom. Yeah, just, I have worked with so many in so many different ways, like as an actress and salesperson. And in my mind, I have this belief that because my feeling of unworthiness and this feeling of if I'm a miserable person, I came from a really poor family and all these stories in my mind. I used to think like, oh, if I had money, or not so much about money, but it's more about if I had a profession, if I have a specific quality, I would be someone else. I would be someone important, like just really helpful for people. I could help people. I could just be someone. And then I tried really hard, and then I just got more and more into this the same belief that nothing I do I feel really good about. And I'm saying this because now, after Jesus found me, or I found Jesus after Jesus got me, I just feel so good to share about Jesus, to talk about Jesus. And there is nothing more that make my heart just open up. I feel like a flower. I feel like, just light just come through me, and I feel really helpful. I can feel my body just get warm now, just to share. But now I'm in this situation when I see myself like all these beliefs is still in my mind, like, oh, I need to do a lot. I need to do a lot of tasks here in the house. Jonas brings to me this belief, like, oh, yesterday he said something like, because I was just feeling to be with God, I was holding my mind, just pray, like, the peace of God's my only goal. I was trying to get in touch with this. I want to feel this peace. I want to put this as a priority in my mind. And then I spend a lot of time just sit down and read the course. And then he came to me and he said, I'm not working for you to spend time, just sit in the couch and just, don't, without doing nothing. And just to be lazy, you don't exercise, and then you are going to get fat. And then, and then all this belief that I'm not going to say, okay, it's in my mind now. I'm just going to share, because it doesn't matter if it's in his mind, in my mind, just hurt me. Just, yeah, but the point, what I want to share actually is, I don't know what to do. It's just, I went to the dentist, and then the dentist says, oh, you have this problem in your tooth, in your teeth, and then it's gonna cost this and a lot of money and all this. And then I start to think about that. Jesus, you wanted me to do something. I don't want to work. It's something wrong. I don't want to work for money, but I'm trying to convince myself that I have some debts in Brazil, really little debts. And then some people today, my uncle, he sent me a message, and then he said, I woke up in the middle of the night, and then I thought about you, and then I want to ask you, do you need something? And then he doesn't have much money, but just to hear from him, I just felt, oh my God, what is that? And yeah, I don't know what to do if this keep calling my heart just to talk about God and think about Jesus. I feel sometimes I feel wrong about that. I need to help. I feel I'm not helping Jonas with money. And
Yeah, you don't have to feel guilty for working for God.
yeah, but I think like what I do has to make money. How just idea like, okay, but Jonas is the only one who is working, and then how to do with this? When now I feel guilty because he's. I don't feel worthy to asking him to pay for my tooth, and my thought is, okay, then I don't care about the tooth. Let be like this. But I'm afraid if I'm avoiding something, I'm afraid if I'm not facing something, like, yeah, I think that's it.
Well, you know what I think? With God as your boss, you don't have to worry about it. You will be told if you need to get a job. And you haven't, maybe so far, you're open to it. You'll be guided, and this guilt you feel for sitting on the couch, reading the course, meditating, being in joy with Jesus, that's, that's beautiful. You don't have to feel guilty for that. So these are just reflections of your guilt when you hear complaint, but you can say, no, I'm guided. I will clean the apartment when I feel guided. You can trust. You can allow the confidence. Like in today's lesson, Jesus says, let go of planning completely. Let go of planning and allow present confidence into your mind. Present confidence. That's what you can allow when people around you complain. Just be in present confidence. When I had some teeth problem at one point, I sent out a message on Facebook explaining it and asked, would someone like to support me financially with this teeth problem? And the dental technician wrote to me and said, yeah, I want to help you by making your new tooth. I want to make you a new tooth and send it to you. And he did. That was his donation. So I think there are ways, Spirit has ways.
Yeah, maybe you can send me some of your faith, and yeah, and then this sense of I worth, because my mind sometimes I have some blocks. No, it's, yeah, I just think, like, sometimes I think to follow God I need to be really, to have nothing, and to, yeah.
Yeah. And maybe that is something too from the past. If you lived in poverty, you believe that you shouldn't have anything. But now you can allow to work with Jesus with that, and allow your needs to be met.
Thank you.
Yeah. No doubt, no guilt. You can say to Jonas, Oh, that's just your doubt, Jonas. I'm fine. Love you so much, Vanessa. Well, we had a request last time to ask our community to share something, share a bit about how it is here in community, kind of behind the scenes, maybe about your experience and how the healing occurs here. So she asked us, why aren't they sharing so much when we are in those meetings? What's going on? Are they all afraid, or I don't know what she asked, but so, well, it's because we share a lot outside of these sessions.
I also remember Susan had raised her hand before.
Oh yeah,
too.
Susan. We can go to Susan first, and then we can go to the community. Okay.
So I may turn off the computer video for a moment, so I'm not so distracted by it freezing. So hi, Jenny Barret and Mighty Companions. I know last Monday I mentioned something about ego backlash. Then I went back to being very happy. And Thursday morning, I was happily here and let in the building manager and a couple of people who are pest inspectors, but without any pests. They were here for 2 minutes. And then we were all laughing. And somehow I took a step and a leap and a fall, somehow flew into the bathroom and landed hard. I mean, it was so, unusual, the whole thing. So once again, they called an ambulance, and off I was on a spirit-guided journey, kind of laughing, with these people in an ambulance. And they brought me to a hospital nearby, a triage room. And in the ambulance and with the nurses, I said, well, I'm praying for a miracle if you'd like to join. That's all I said, is I'm praying for a miracle. And I wrote Jenny, I said, I am not a body, I am free, for I am as God created me. And then sitting there in the triage room, my phone rings, Facebook Messenger. I had the wherewithal, or spirit, gave me the phone. And it was someone I haven't talked to in 15 years. I noticed the call and then I called it back because it was a Navajo medicine man from Arizona who I used to be very close to, but we haven't talked. I mean, I haven't been to any ceremonies, nothing. I said, James? And he said, good morning. He said, you're okay. You're going to wear a sling for about a week. I said, what?
He knew.
So Holy Spirit through James somehow called me, and my mind was at rest, and I was smiling and laughing even more. And then when we were on the phone like 3 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. And then when I told the surgeon that I need a miracle and a medicine man just called, he thought I was just completely out of my mind. So it was that kind of experience. And I had x-rays, I had a CAT scan. He came back. I didn't tell him what James had said, though. So long story short, the doctor said, well, you may have broken a couple of ribs, it looks like, but your arm, something strained in the shoulder. So, I left there real quick. I actually walked to a pharmacy where I stepped in the back with someone to look at a dog, and someone comes out of a car and says, Susan, So there was someone I knew from 30 years ago who's now the pharmacy assistant. I mean, I couldn't write this if I was a screenwriter, but apparently I did. So I have no pain in my ribs, but my arm isn't as happy as it can be. So yeah, there's a sling. And it's just another funny parable. I'll turn on the camera. Now, I want to expose the fear I felt when I was flying and landing, because I was totally out of control. You know, the fear I felt of breaking everything in my arm and not being able to dance, but nothing's broken. So, you know, more faith and trust. And now I'm embarrassed to turn the camera on, but I'm coming back. True story. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not good with pain, frankly. You know, with what seems like that. So I'm observing and asking Holy Spirit for help and watching myself believe that something is happening when I know it's nothing. You know, so I'm resting and I'm hoping to, you know, burst into dance soon. Dance for joy.
In the meantime, let your heart keep dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, you have some good miracle stories, Susan.
Quite a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yate. It was nice to hear James's voice. Of course, now we're in touch again, so.
I love it. How Spirit shows care by sending a medicine man to call you after 50.
What? In that moment,
Yeah.
sitting alone in a little triage room, praying for a miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a gift.
And I wonder too about pain, if it's as much about the pain as about the fear of the pain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for sharing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
I do see Danielle's hand up too.
Yeah, I saw my family yesterday for Mother's Day, and I just like prayed a lot beforehand and really tried to stay connected. But I ended up getting like so withdrawn and checked out, and like felt so disconnected from spirit, from myself. And when I sat with what was coming up, it was like, I feel angry at them that they're not interested in what I'm interested in. Like they want to stay a bit more on the surface. They want to socialize. They want to talk about things that I'm not interested in. And I feel some resentment that I feel like I have to go into their world in order to connect. And I guess I don't know what to do about it, because I don't want to be with them trying to like talk about God or talk about our feelings if that's not what they're wanting. So I don't want to be that, but I also feel some resentment that I feel like I have to like make myself small in order to be with them. And then I just wonder, I'm like, should I just be internally connected and they don't have to change? I just let them be and socialize, but I'm connected? Or do I just not want to see them as much? So I don't know. I'm just kind of, I got a little bit in the web of confusion. So I'm just curious, any thoughts or reflections? Because yeah, I felt kind of like, yeah, I'm supposed to go on a week vacation with them at the beach, which I'm excited about. And I'm really nervous about because I get pretty triggered. So yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to compromise.
But I don't know what that means. with my family. I don't know what that means.
Well,
Like if I want to talk about something deep and they don't.
well, then find others to talk with about the deep stuff, you know. You don't have to go see them because it's Mother's Day. This is where it comes down to, is you're worthy all the time to stay connected with God and extend it. And you don't have to go where you're not welcome, where that is not welcomed. And usually it isn't welcomed in our families. I had the same experience. I went for years feeling like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't be in it because they didn't want it. So I had to go my way, you know.
What does that mean, go your way?
Wow. Spirit took me far away from them.
I think I feel afraid of that happening.
Mm. And if you feel to be with them, like you said, you're excited about the beach trip, be with God. You don't have to engage in conversations. You can say, well, I'm not so interested. I'm going to just go and go within, or, you know, you can, and you may need to stand up for your path and explain to them what you're about, you know.
Yeah, I think I just feel really guilty or sad because they want to connect more than I want it. And they've all shared that they're hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They're hurt by like how I am.
Yeah, it's a release of specialness. They want you in a box. They want Danielle, the person Danielle, the daughter, sister.
Yeah, I feel myself wanting to break free. I feel stuck. Like it feels like the hardest area of my life to break free. Because I just feel like I'm surrounded by people who don't share in this path. So I just feel like a weirdo. If I'm like on the beach trip, like, okay, I'm gonna go meditate now. They're probably all gonna make jokes like, oh, Danielle's meditating or something. So
Yeah. Be guided, you know, with the choices you make for joining with them. Make sure you feel guided to join with them, because if you don't feel guided, it's going to feel like a big compromise, and you're going to feel like you try to fit a square peg in a round hole, you know, like it won't feel like it works.
I think that's what I'm feeling. I feel like I'm compromising, but I'm afraid that if I'm not compromising, I'm just never going to see them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is good to face that fear.
Yeah, I just like don't feel ready for that yet. I just imagine they'd be like really hurt.
Yeah. But you must be ready for what you're feeling right now. And we giggled here today with our friend who just arrived. I joined with him, and we were giggling at this idea of the responsibility you take as the role in their life, instead of letting God take that role. God is capable to take care of them. You don't have that responsibility. You don't need to have it. And we laughed, and he used the word arrogance. That is arrogance to take on that role, you know?
That's really, really true. It's so true. Yeah, it's like not my job.
No.
I think where my mind goes, it's like, but they believe
Of
it's
course.
my You know, when I've been more distant, they've told me how hurt they were, how selfish I am. Like, what's wrong with me because I don't want to socialize.
Yeah, that's the role they are set up to play in this game of this world, to keep you stuck as a human being, as Daniel.
I just feel to say to you, it's easier on the other side. You know, it's the process that you're in right now is like you're just sort of starting to shift some of these dynamics, and it feels, you know, it's all the stories of the world, what it means to be brother, sister, daughter, son, you know, these things that the world values. The world values these things because they keep the world intact. But, you know, it's like we're letting go of the world. You know, that's what we're doing here. We can't let go of the world and not, you know, I'm just going to keep this part of it though, you know. I think we kind of think we can, but it just, we can't. But it's on the other side after the shift, after you've taken some of these steps, that you realize it's actually not as big of a thing as it feels initially.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, I feel this call to love the whole world. We've talked about that before. I just want to fall in love with the whole world. And I feel sad that what my family sees is me being hurtful and selfish. It's like, wow, I'm doing something so different from that. But I feel sad that that's how it looks.
You can ask Spirit for how to explain that to them. You know, how to explain that you're actually not selfish. You're capital S, selfish. You're going for enlightenment. You know, you're going for a life in devotion. And there may be ways to explain that to them. Say to them, I'm like a nun, or I'm like a monk. I'm really devoting myself here, you know, or some way that they will understand that this is not just selfishness, you know. One time, because in my family, they were the same, they didn't understand. They didn't know, had no clue what I was doing and why. But one day, my mom said to me, you are living like Jesus and the apostles. That's more than we can say about us. So she knew without, you know, so they often know that you have this calling, you know, even though they want to complain and keep you in your place, because that's what the special relationships have been set up for. It was set up by the ego this way. It's like, it's God proof, you know. God doesn't come into that system. But here you are, you long for God, you know, and you're starting. And these are the idols, these are the symbols that you need to release, even to know who they truly are. You don't really know that when you keep them in your pocket. But the guilt around this can be deep. I mean,
it's deep. Yeah. The guilt, the obligation, feeling like a bad daughter, bad sister, bad auntie. It goes deep.
Yeah. Yeah. We just had a call with Barret's mom a few days ago. And Barret said, oh, she looks like she has aged quite a bit, you know. And I could hear there was some like responsibility there, as if his choice of life path has hurt her, and now she has aged a lot. something like that.
Sum it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ego will get you, it has this really heavy sense of obligation, but it's not really the obligation. Obligation is to be true to ourselves. Obligation is to remember the light within. And wherever that takes us, it takes us. I think in the beginning, when I was getting these messages to not be in touch with my family very much at all, after being very regular in communication, I judged it. I had, anger at God and anger at Holy Spirit.
Because in a worldly view, Barret had prime family relationships. Like he was doing the right thing with it.
Yeah. But, again, for this path, it all has to be offered over to Holy Spirit. And if we have some plan around how it needs to look, then we're not fully offering it. We're not really fully giving it over. And that's the journey, is to just keep noticing when we have that, and hand the plan over then too.
And how did you give it over?
Well, when I personally, thought I should be calling them, but my intuition was no. I trusted the intuition, I trusted my feeling, and I handed my belief of what I should do over. I had to keep doing it over and over and over, just to keep washing it and clearing it.
And he's learned the guidance is of utmost importance to be followed. He was diligent. He didn't compromise once around this. I don't think you ever called them out of guilt. You always prayed, and if you were guided, you called. And it wasn't a lot. Hasn't been a lot.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, that leads to a clear mind.
Yeah, it ties into what I said at the beginning, that I don't want to make decisions from guilt. So many of my family decisions are guilt. I want to undo that. I want to choose from innocence, make decisions from guidance.
That's it.
Yeah.
There is a lesson in the course. I will not listen to the voices of the dead. I won't listen to voices of doubt, voices of complaint, like you should be a good daughter, or you should show up, or you should join with them more. Because like in my experience, when I saw my parents' true self, which is true, which Jesus says in the Course, there is no likeness to the worldly images, They were just pure light, pure love, and I had no interest in listening to one word. I when I came back from that experience and they started to complain, my earthly parents complained about my path, I said, oh, come here, I'll give you a big hug. I'm taking this path and I'm fine, but I'm not taking your rage and anger. I'm not taking any of this, I went my way because I had seen who they truly are. And I realized I need to do my mind training to find that experience all the time, or to undo time. Yeah. So it's more like you're entering into your miracle worker phase. When you're a miracle worker, you may feel guided to spend time with them at times, or you may not. But if you are, you need to be the miracle worker. Like you need to let spirit speak through you, stay linked up with spirit, No, otherwise there's no, you will lose yourself. You will not feel very clear, you know.
Mhm.
And miracle worker is a role that I'd say probably everyone here in this Zoom meeting is using or starting to use or has been using for a while, you know, because that is our natural step towards going home. We can no longer compromise with our relationships and play roles. If we have a role, let's play it very lightly. And let's allow Spirit's guidance to come first and show us the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel grateful.
Mm. Yeah, we're never gonna be content with less than who we truly are. That's a fact. And in the special relationships, there is this attempt to keep us less than what we truly are. Doesn't work. Yeah, it feels really good that we're talking about this. Yeah. You're going to get so strong in the truth as you stop compromising in the relationships. I had to take time out, though, you know, that, and that comes in for many of us, this guidance to make a big space for yourself, go deeper. And it's not as scary as it sounds. Okay, let's go to Hazel.
Thank you, Danielle, for expressing that. And Jenny and Barret for what came through you. It's very helpful. A very deep, sort of heart-opening connection. And I'm just very grateful for the sharing. Yes, I'm feeling very vulnerable and very grateful for that. And it kind of bypassed the ego and went straight into the heart. And mostly I guess I just want to share and express just the deep, deep desire of my heart to keep expanding to that, you know, connection with spirit. And last time when I spoke with you and Barret privately, I was just mostly grappling with, you know, a huge, I don't know, maybe discontent or asking just, I guess, to go deeper within my own connection to spirit for guidance.
Yeah.
As to, you know, what I'm being called towards. And I'd just come back from several months in a deep spiritual retreat in Mexico. And I was curious how the awakening to love folks were feeling and experiencing. No obligation, you know, to share, just mostly if there was a call or a desire for anyone there to talk about what maybe they're experiencing and receiving. And I guess just wanting to open up to, more of the connection and the transparency and the love.
The awakening to love.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's, yes, I'm just feeling very grateful and for this community. I'm feeling less separate. I'm feeling less alone. I'm feeling more connected. I'm feeling more open and vulnerable to listening and hearing. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I was almost curious to ask, does that mean you're on your way south?
I mean, for me, it was a huge weekend, this Mother's Day weekend, and a lot of what was shared, with not compromising and not feeling obligated. And I sort of, I just really have to go inward and listen, whether, I go in and out, whether that is where I'm meant to be moving in the direction of. I really, at this point, there's a lot of confusion and doubt. And today, I finally have a day to just kind of go, oh, wow, where am I really being called? Yeah, I'm still kind of in that place of prayer. And terror.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think sometimes there can be fear. It can feel scary to take the step you're called to take.
Yeah, so I just, the ego wants to just come in and put up a big block and a big, huge wall of back off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm grappling with running to the egoic, is it egoic call for excitement and passion and illusion, or just stay put and accept and embrace? Pardon?
Don't stay put.
Okay.
Yeah, Hazel, I think I feel really deep that you already know what the call is. It's not that you don't know. It's just that there's fear.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you need to go for it like Indiana Jones, stepping off the cliff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's all I can take right now. I'll just sit with it. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything is so safe and so comfortable here. I've got all my ducks in a row here, but it's fucking boring.
Yeah. Boring is not your calling.
I don't think so. No, it is not my calling. Yeah. Okay.
When the calling comes, answer it. That is my big advice, because that's going to save you time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to bring you to joy much faster.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a wild orange, Kia Soul. That's what I drive. The color of it is in the book is wild orange. So I do have a wild orange soul, and I cannot suppress it. I can't put out that fire. I just can't. It won't go out.
Please don't.
Your life needs to be a big juicy orange.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can't go dry.
Okay. Okay. All right. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Lori has received guidance to take some steps. Do you want to share, Lori, about how it is in community?
She tried to bargain a little with the guidance.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, when I heard the request of like community members speaking, instant panic. Because that's my thing, you know, like explanations and yeah. So I don't really think I want to share about that, but I would like to share about my day today.
Go for it.
Yeah. I left, like there was obviously a lot of anger and ego stubbornness last night. So I left and went home and went on the website, the Brittany Ferries website. And I saw like the 23rd, the date, which she had mentioned, and the 30th, and thought the 30th looks much more appealing to me. But I just clicked straight on the 23rd. And I thought, this is insane. This is insane. I don't know if I can end the contract. I don't know if I've got anywhere to go. And the price, that good price came up. So I just went for it and booked it. And then I thought, what next? I messaged my mum and said, any chance you can take us from the 25th? She said, no problem at all. This morning, first thing I went to the garage and said, can I book the car in for a service? He said, come round at 9 in the morning. And then we got invited to the beach with Ava's friend and her friend's mum. So we had a lovely paella on the beach. She even paid ice cream for all of us. It was definitely guidance. And it was funny that some emotion came up when you said, like, I can't remember exactly what you said, but it was something like your family know. They know the score. They just felt all this emotion because I thought they'd probably been more aware of it than I have cared to admit, you know, to just be honest and say, I'm going for enlightenment. Yeah.
Amen.
Like, it felt so obvious that of course they know. Yeah. And even thinking today, Ava out of the blue today said something like, I've always thought you would become a nun. What? I was an atheist for most of my life. Why would you think that? But then I just caught myself and I joked and I said, well, am I? Yeah. I said, more like a female monk. And she went, oh, you're not going to turn up in 2 years with a shaved head. And
You never know.
yeah, so even females, like, yeah, there's no point. There's no point pussyfooting around, just. Oh, and then the last part of it was the only bit I didn't talk about was I didn't tell the kids that we're going earlier. So I thought, right, I'm just going to pray. I'm not going to do it in this sphere. I'll just pray. We're driving back from the beach, and she just turned around and said, "Can we not go back to England any sooner?" There's no arguing with that, is there?
That's how you know it's guided. It's the spirit. She knows. She felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how it works when Holy Spirit, has a plan. Is the pieces all come together.
Yeah.
All come together.
Obstacles fall to the side.
Yeah, and even thinking at the beginning of this call, I really want to share, but I don't want it to be on YouTube. But then when you said that your family already know, there's no point.
Yeah.
No point hiding anything, just.
No, because it's miracles. It's beautiful. It's happiness. Yeah. No point hiding it.
There's the light.
Yeah. Yeah. Just lit up right there. The sun is set, but
No, I done it actually.
good there. The man behind the screen. Matthew, do you want to share how it is to be at Awaken to Love?
Yeah, I could do, yeah. Well, I can share a little bit about healing and where I'm at with healing at the moment. It doesn't really end. When you're in community, it's like healing is just the main, I wouldn't say the main focus of every day, but it's just the purpose of why we're here. And for me, like, it's been a really deep emotional healing journey. And I feel I'm in the middle of another big kind of part of that. But yeah, I heard your question earlier, like, how does it look? It's mainly for me, it's like where I feel the release from healing is often mostly just through sharing about it. And that can be just simply describing what you're feeling, what you're going through. And almost always when I do that, I feel a release, I feel a clearing. And that's what I love, because you really get to experience, so it's worth it. This journey is so worth it for them releases, because you can feel, you don't go back. When you release something, it's gone. Like, there might be more to release, but it's beautiful when you really feel like you've just let something go emotionally, and you're lighter. And yeah, that's just been my main experience since coming to Awaken to Love. Just so much lighter, happier. Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's worth it, and I encourage you to come, join in.
Yeah, Margaret just showed up a week ago. Yeah, just really, really quickly too. Everything went for you, Margaret. Just it was almost like the Holy Spirit said, "Catch her," to me. Catch her. She's on her way away from. She's on her way to north of Spain. But catch her now. So I call you, and you sounded really happy at the invitation.
Yeah. We were sharing a little bit about that we are very, very happy to stay here in this community. Really, really happy. I feel like I'm not suffering anymore. I'm just enjoying every step. Whatever is needed to do is always, most of the time, guided. And yeah, we are healing together like family. I feel that. So I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for opening this space for us. Yeah.
Thank you. It is a joy. Yeah. And it's really cool to just say yes to one's calling, because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if you're going to end up in community, or are you going, you just say yes, and you're just willing, That's what I did too. And I ended up with these beautiful, people coming and but it wasn't like my plan. I didn't plan to start a community. I didn't, it's the spirit. It's just the spirit. And for me, I don't really have like an investment in it. I don't need to make something happen. Just keep staying open, and that's it. And it does lead to heights of happiness, just following the next step. The next step. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, both of you. Lovely. It's all about answering the call tonight. Is there anyone else sitting here with something hoping to share before we end for tonight?
Solveig?
I don't know, I just feel kind of upset. And the issue that have been up a lot here is the thing that's up for me with family. And I think I just wish to put out there this, I really want to let go of all these strains in the role and stop all this compromising. And yeah, I can see that there's so many things I would like to communicate to my family, and then I'm writing in the night, in the day, whatever. Just wake up and I start writing, and then I'm not sending it. And then I'm just, after some hours, reading it again, and suddenly I can see, oh, what is it I'm doing? I'm still trying to save my son. I'm still trying to, yeah, it seems like it just goes so deep.
Yeah, thank you for sharing about the process. It is going very, very deep.
And then, yeah, even going through the process of writing something that I feel, I think I want to communicate with him, with my son, about something, and then all these iterations, deleting, writing, deleting, writing, and then I come to Peter, and he's just like, no, I don't think so. And then another iteration comes up, and suddenly I'm like, oh, is there something there? Is there still something hidden there? And it just seems so crazy that there's so much hidden there. And in the end, it's just like, I'm probably not going to write him anyway, but I've been writing pages, that I never sent.
Yeah. It's all your inner process. Yeah. Releasing the special role. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see this. This is so clear for me that I don't want him to suffer. I don't want him to worry. I don't want to, and I have absolutely no idea if he's doing that. It's just something I imagine, it's just.
Well, and that's actually what you're releasing. You're releasing this belief that he suffers. This belief that he has some need that somehow you can fill.
Yeah, we're back to this arrogance that I'm the only one who can fill his needs. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that belief.
Just this evening, I just feel really upset around it.
Yeah, just keep, you're in a rinse cycle. You just need to keep rinsing in this, all these feelings. Yeah.
Thank you.
Big hug to you.
Did you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what I'm going to say.
How good it is at Awaken to Love community.
Yes.
Hang on, someone's got my arm behind my back. Yeah. Well, I met Jenny about 3 years ago, and I knew at a meeting, I knew that I was going to end up being with her in some way. So took a couple of years to get here, I think, but it's been I've been here about 1.5 years now. And I got married during that time. And so we've been married about 1.5 years, I guess, but a bit less, yeah. Sometimes it's been hell, the marriage. And it's been very challenging. Other times it's been like floating on air. It's been very beautiful. It feels like it's starting to move into a new way of being. I've never been as deep, and I've gone a lot deeper than I've ever been in the many years beforehand coming here. And that feels amazing, actually. That in itself has given me hope in a way that I felt like I kept hitting a wall. I could go so far. And so it's been amazing to be loved when I don't love myself. That's so enormously important. And I'm very grateful for that, incredibly grateful for that. I can see, I was just thinking about Hazel feeling very uncomfortable at the moment. And I was just looking today, I was feeling, we were watching the movie with the whole community yesterday, and afterwards I just felt all over the place, like I had this PTSD up. I just couldn't talk properly. And then it was here this morning, and I just wept on and off for about an hour, just looking at the misery. And I don't think I could have got here without being here in the community, to be honest.
You know, and I anticipate sometime getting beyond this place. I do. I can feel that's possible. I feel like I'm more willing in my mind and I'm more capable in my mind. That doesn't mean I don't run at times in my mind, but I feel this feels as it's meaningful, it's purposeful. It's not like I don't have doubts, but I just can't think of anything else to do, to be honest. It's like, well, what else would I do? There's like nothing else that compares.
That's always the conclusion I come to as well. Nothing else I could do.
So we had a good talk, and Kind was involved a little bit, but we spoke. I was quite fearful about it, about Solvay's assignment at the moment. It was my assignment as well, because I'm involved with, and that felt like powerful, and that's what she was partly talking about. Felt very powerful. For me, it was very powerful. Hour or so we were expressing. So you asked, what do we do? So there's a few of the things I do in the day. I went for a swim. I took one of the community members to the dentist, and I swam for about 20 minutes. I swam to Morocco and back, you know, just all in a day's work, you know. So there have been a lot of things, yeah. And I read all about guilt today, and sent links to some other friends who don't even do the course, but they're interested. So things like that, and you know, we all do them. So started cooking the meal, and then got a bit late, so I was a little bit late picking up, man. But yeah.
Thank you. It feels very, very rich.
And I don't like speaking to a lot of people. So, you know, that's part of the reason I don't always speak. But sometimes it's easier to speak about my stuff than it's not. So usually that motivates me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to talk about these things because what we do here is the healing of the mind. It's because starting to talk about anything, it will go to form, you know, what you do during a day or what is it in form, but it's beyond form. So you can't really describe what it is. It's just, yeah, the healing, the awakening. And it looks in whatever way it needs to look. Okay, well, we can share. We will have a break because we have a retreat now coming up starting on Wednesday. So we have a break from these sessions until when?
Until Thursday, May 25th. So we'll be on break for a week and a half, basically. And then we'll pick back up on the 25th.
And if anyone wants to sign up for the retreats that are upcoming, yeah. Matthew is inviting. Yeah.
In happy agreement.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you all for joining in. It's been very beautiful to be with you here.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of love to everyone.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.